Hello, buddy. My name is Eric, and I guess I am officially unbanned. So here we go. I thought I would talk about the situation, what's going on, how I feel about it. Really, I guess that's sort of it. So, what happened? Well, basically what happened is, and I'm still trying to fight this, Team YouTube finally responded to me saying they are going to pass this one on for another review. So there's still some hope the video might eventually come back up on YouTube. Where you can currently watch it is on Rumble and on my X account, and I might try uploading it other places as well. And I do strongly recommend you either join the Discord, follow on X or Blue Sky, which is another similar app, so that you can get the updates. Because the thing that really annoys me is after you get your content removed, you cannot interact on YouTube in any way. The only thing I could do is leave a comment on my latest video, which I did do. I can't post a community tab. Can't upload videos. Well, okay. Can't do anything. So that's really annoying. The appeal system, to me, feels like it's basically non-functional. So you're telling me, because this video, I got the appeal rejected within a minute of filing the appeal on a 20-minute video, and they removed the box where you could explain why you thought the strike was invalid, which was useful because maybe I have additional context to share. So that's annoying. So this all started a few months ago. So I uploaded this video. Now, I think this one, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with the video, got striked because of the title, because there's nothing else that could conceivably be wrong with this video. The Discord grabber that hacks the hackers. Now, my assumption here is an automated system assumed that I either endorsed or had something to do with this activity, not that I was calling it out, or maybe it was the fact I ran a Discord grabber to show what it looked like, so that one got taken down. That's one of those fake semicolon abuse open source projects, if you're wondering, and that got taken down. That one was removed for this policy, which we'll look at in a second. I appealed that, instantly rejected. I had Team YouTube look at it. They told me that someone actually reviewed it and it still got rejected. I don't know. I still think this one's 100% bogus, but I don't think I'm ever getting it back. Now, what about this video? Well, after I uploaded it elsewhere, someone suggested that perhaps the problem was at some point in the middle of the video, one of the places, because the way I make the download button ads videos, of course, is I go to various questionable websites and I click, instead of downloading the file or the stream, I click the ads, right? That's what the title says, and that's what we do. Well, my theory was one of those sites was a dodgy streaming site, and maybe that somehow counted as promotion of piracy, even though I was showing why you shouldn't use the site. So that's our working theory. And yeah, appeal rejected within a minute. First post on X didn't get a response, but I did finally get one, so I have some hope maybe this will eventually get fixed. Now, if we go on over to the community guidelines strike basics. So, community guidelines are the rules of the road for how to behave on YouTube. These policies apply to all types of content, including unlisted and private content, comments, links, community posts, and thumbnails. Anything on YouTube. Although, interestingly, because the reporting system is as broken as the appeal system, channel descriptions are fair game. At least they used to be. As we saw when we tried to report malware and it just wouldn't go down. And they can also remove content for other reasons, like legal reasons or privacy complaint if you dox someone. Now, what happens when you get a strike? Well, you're notified by email. You can also choose to have notifications sent to you. Yeah, okay. Tells you why it was removed, which policies it violated. Well, not really. They're all very vague. How it affects your channel and what you can do next. Now, the first one is called a warning, and they even give you a policy training after that. I did this for the first one. I feel like, and I don't even remember which question it was actually broken because it said you got the right answer, but it wouldn't let me pass until I changed it to one that was clearly wrong, but okay. So we understand mistakes happen. You don't mean to violate our policies. That's why our first violation is only a warning. Now, if you don't get any more strikes, that one does expire. I don't know if it ever expires if you get one afterwards. Then you get the first strike, which does all of these things. Can't do any of these things, which has recently been broadened. And this is when you acknowledge it. So if you're not at your computer the second you get it, then you lose even more time. Now, after the 1 week period, you get your ability to do things back. But the strike remains on your channel for 90 days. And if you get another one, 2 weeks. And if you get another one after that, you are banned forever. Now, as a result, if I get another one, because this always seems to happen when I upload the video, it doesn't happen later, I'm just going to take 90 days off because I don't want to get a third one. But hopefully we won't get to that point. So, what do you do when you get a strike? Well, here you go. Now, what's also interesting is they've made this a bit stricter. It used to be that if you were terminated, you couldn't make another channel, but now also you cannot appear on another channel prominently. Like, you could appear once, but if I were to get someone to make a channel and publish every day, no, not allowed. So that's another new rule. So I genuinely, I think this is much more a case of incompetence than I do think it's a case of censorship. I think the issue is, it's in 2020, we might even be able to see if we can find it. So in 2020, they changed this. It used to be that a video would either get reported or an automated system would find something wrong with it, and then a human would review it before it was taken down. This was good because it meant that a bot mistake wouldn't instantly take your videos down. Okay. Now, the automated systems use machine learning, which allows them to use data from previous human reviews to identify potentially violative content. Now, this is continually updated, and they say it has a high level of accuracy. Well, that's probably true, but it also does have a meaningful level of inaccuracy. Automated systems, yes, they do provide efficient response times. In my experience, all of the videos I've had taken down were taken down within an hour of publishing. That's interesting, is despite the fact that they are fully able to take down private and unlisted videos before publishing, in my experience, that doesn't actually happen. I would imagine because machine learning systems can be reasonably computationally intensive to inference, when a video starts getting views, I would imagine they send it for a check. Now, of course, human reviewers can also check. And the other way that things can get pushed on is if you flag a video, it can get sent for a review. That all seems mostly okay. Here they say they only use it for a high degree of confidence. Yeah, that might be true. Now, before 2020, this was different. A bot could never take down a video without it being reviewed by a human. But I understand why they did this. The main thought process was, it's a bad idea to let remote workers have this power because then that introduces a whole category of potential hackings. So in order to avoid that, they made this decision. Now, of course, 2020 was a long time ago, so I think they just decided that this was a better system. I genuinely don't know. Now, let's look at this policy that I've been getting into trouble for. So, YouTube doesn't allow content that encourages dangerous or illegal activities that risk serious physical harm and death. That sounds totally irrelevant. A lot of people who've gotten these strikes be like, well, what does that have to do with what I did? But if we go down, we can see more about this. No, none of these. Definitely none of these. And here we go. So for whatever reason, rather than simply creating an 8th category of the community guidelines for hacking content, it's all under this banner. So we get instructional theft, which of course did not do. Hacking. Maybe. I think the bot misrecognized the title of the Discord video and that's why it got removed. Bypassing payment for digital content or services. Content that shows, so that is where potentially using an unauthorized streaming service could maybe be trouble. I don't know. Then phishing, of course. No, I've never made a phishing guide and never would. But there is a lot of phishing content on YouTube because the issue with any machine learning system is they perform very, very well in sample, but they perform poorly out of sample. And the issue with that with spam is when you're just mass removing content, the spammer can just alter the content until it doesn't get mass removed. And yeah, eventually it'll get caught, but so I think that's a big problem. And then of course, illegal or regulated goods and services, which would be stuff like promoting gambling. So examples, none of these are relevant. Age restrictions, and then we have educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic content. Now, I don't think this is properly getting through because I don't think these algorithms are able to determine this. And of course, the human reviews, to the extent they exist, are so brief, they just don't have time. So that's the problem here. I don't think there's a conscious effort to remove this kind of content. I think there is an unconscious effort because it just sets off the bots. Now, interestingly, over here, we can go to the Google Transparency Report where YouTube actually will tell you how many videos it takes down, and we can kind of see the transition here. So if we go back to January of 2019, 8 million videos were removed. Now we only get appeal data, so we'll go to October 2019. That's before the bots took over. So 100,000 videos were appealed, and 20,000 were reinstated, on 5 million videos being removed. Now, let's go to April, when the change was made so that the bots could take things down. Now we have 11 million videos removed. Part of that could also be internet usage went up in 2020, but so we go here. And now, instead of 20,000 videos being reinstated, 160,000 were reinstated. You can see the inaccuracy definitely went up. Now, if we go on over to July, almost half of appeals are being approved, which is concerning. Now, let's see what happens as we go on over into 2021. And we're still getting quite a decent chunk of videos reinstated. Now, let's go into 2023, well after the pandemic. And so there's definitely a lower, so it seems like, to some degree, human reviewers were put more back in charge at that point. 40,000. So either, in general, YouTube has got more accurate in the post-pandemic years, or the appeal system has gotten worse. Because if you do manage to get a video back through social media or private contacts, that doesn't count, despite the fact that it's still being reinstated. And ultimately, the importance of human flagging has generally gone down as a result of the automated system. And a lot of automated content never even gets watched, which is a good thing. I mean, it's good that, especially because a lot of this content that they're removing is absolutely horrible. We're not talking about, like, hacking videos. We're talking about terrorism content. Like, that does need to be taken down as fast as it possibly can. The problem here is some people get caught in the cracks. So what are we going to do? Well, I mean, there's a few things. I'm going to experiment more with different content. I'm going to make more, I don't know if we say how to, but I'm going to do more than just the malware testing videos. I think that's one thing. I'm probably going to upload a bit less, because that's another way of reducing the odds of getting a strike. I'm going to try things out. And of course, I am going to continue to try and badger YouTube into giving me the videos back. And I have other platforms now. I will have a link in the description. I recommend joining at least one platform where you can get updates. Discord, Blue Sky, or X. And if you want to watch content somewhere else, Rumble is now an option, as is X. We'll see if those end up being viable. I think more is definitely better. My plan was kind of to make any taken down videos being sort of a school member exclusive thing, but I've changed my mind on that purely because if it's going to happen more frequently and for silly reasons, I think the best way to combat that is just to make it so people can watch the videos, because then they can see, okay, is this violative content, or is this perfectly harmless? And from that, they can make their own decision, and maybe we can have a positive effect here. Because I'm not the only one getting videos removed wrongly. I know that Enderman went through this for a while, who has made similar videos, and there's just a total lack of transparency here. You get a single vague reason as to why your video is taken down. You no longer get to even give an opinion on that in the appeal. You just click, I would like to appeal this. And then when that gets rejected, you don't officially have any recourse. You used to be able to go through support, but they've basically neutered that. They just tell you there's nothing you can do. The only thing you really do is go on X, tweet at Team YouTube, and ask them to look at your video again, and they will. So that's going to be all for me for now. It's a frustrating situation. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye.